What's going on, YouTube? This is what would Josh do, and this is a super exciting video. This company reached out to me, and I saw this, and I just thought this was the coolest thing ever. So I said yes, absolutely, and they sent it over. I didn't know they were also sending this. This looks like a separate product, but I was definitely excited about this one right here. So normally you need to carry something like this, which is a charging brick, or probably something you're more common with is something like this. And then you need to bring a cable, plug this in, and then plug this into your phone or power bank or whatever. This is one thing for all of that, which is just beyond exciting. I'm thrilled. And I'm just now seeing that it has Lightning and USB-C. So if you have an older iPhone, or if you're like me, I still have a pair of older AirPods. I use them. I love them. I'm not going to change them. And it does use a Lightning port, so I can still use this thing to charge those old AirPods. That's freaking fantastic. This is the Ark Power Bank 10,000. We're just going to take a brief look at this one. I don't know how much coverage I will provide on it, but I will unbox it and show it to you. This is the one I'm super excited about. This is the one that they told me they were going to send over. So it's got a 15-watt MagSafe wireless charger. That's another thing. You don't even need to use a cable. You can just use wireless charging. It's a fully modular power bank. This is the first time I've seen anything like this at all. It's got an integrated charging cable. It says 30 watts or Lightning max 18 watts. I guess that's kind of a downside because I know with this cable right here, which is a USB-C to a Lightning, I can get 27 watts on my 12 Pro Max. So 18 watts still is good. That's still technically fast. So that's pretty cool. And then taking a look at the whole packaging, we just got the brand. We've got some information here on the back, such as, patented and zinc alloy. Oh, it's got a stand, and that's alloy, zinc alloy. It's got a freaking phone stand. That's cool. So you could prop this up at work and watch a show on your lunch break. That's awesome. Nothing. And then we have the UPC and the model number and serial number. We'll take a brief look at this one. You can just skip ahead if you don't care. But this is the Space Capsule Power Bank. Charge multiple devices at one time. Type-C chip. Integrated charging cable, small and portable. It's a 5,000, so it won't fully charge a completely dead phone. In my testing from my phones, I get about 20 to 80%, so 60% charge off of something like this. With a phone that has a bigger battery, with a phone that has a smaller battery, you might get an 80% charge. But for my current devices, such as my 16 Pro Max and my 25 Ultra, then it's about a 60% gain. So that's still way better than dead, but we're going to take a look at it. So just a quick little brief thing here. Type-C, 18 watts. So it's fast, but not super fast. And then we have the UPC on the bottom here. And now let's take a look at this guy. And these have nice, easy to open things. I love that so much. Love it. And then open it up. Oh, it's a bigger unit. I mean, there's no denying that. And it's not heavy, but it's got some weight to it, that's for sure. All right, pretty simple. And then in here, we've got some instructions. That's not a language I understand. I'm looking for that good old English. USB-C, 45 watts max. USB-C, 30 watts. USB-A, 18 watts. And USB-C to Lightning is 18 watts. And USB-C to USB-C is 30 watts. And, okay, so we got the specification. Is there an English? Oh, look at that. Haha. All right. That's what I want to see. There's all the stuff I can read, and then all the specifications. So USB-C port output can do 15 volts, 3 amps for 30 watts. No, that's not 30 watts. That's 45 watts. And then 20 volts at 2.25 amps. And then the power bank can do an input of 15 volts, 2 amps for 30 watts. And USB-C output can do 30 watts as well. So okay, and then 15 watts for mobile phone, 5 watts for headphones, and 2.5 watts for watch. Man, this thing's crazy. I could charge all the things with one guy. That's pretty awesome. And there's the instructions. I'll let you pause that and read it for yourself. All right, let's take a close look at the power bank, charger, everything. This is cool. This is that thing you could just, have one device you carry, or one charger, one thing you carry that does all of the things. So right away I'm seeing this. I'm seeing the USB Lightning and the USB-C. and then the wall charger thing to plug into the wall. Got some specifications and stats here. I'll let you pause that and read that for yourself, but it should be all the same information we saw in the booklet. All right, here we see some output. Okay, so it's labeled output. That is not an input. And then we have the button to show 16% currently. 15, 14, 13, 12. Whoa, what? Why is it going down so fast? That's wild. I don't know what's going on. What's it gonna do? What's it gonna do? All right, it needs to be charged, but magnetic wireless charging. So does it just literally? Oh, okay. So it goes. Oh, that's what those all dots are for. So that's unlock, comes off, and there you go. So that's the beautiful thing about this guy. Okay, say you want to charge something with the wall. Boom, plug it in there, leave that, and then say you need to walk over somewhere or do something that's away from it. You just take this, only have this with you, and then when this dies, you figure it out. Hold on. Okay, so you attach it here where this line is, and then you slide up. That's so freaking cool, dude. What the frick? But let's just take a look at this thing. Okay, so it has the stand. So we can stand up. That's pretty cool. Oh, it's got another thing here. What? This has literally everything. Okay, so you can have your phone wirelessly charging there. That's just freaking cool. All right. And then how does this work? This just... Okay. This all just comes off and you get the two. So there you go. And then you got a USB-A port there for output. So this doesn't have its own separate C input or output from what I can see. All right, and then we'll just put the cable back. That's pretty nice. I like that so far. All right. So what we're going to do now is just take a quick look at this guy, because I'm not sure how many people are going to be excited for this one. But let's just take a quick look since it's here. It's in front of us. Why not? So we've got instructions and stuff in here. That's just as simple as it gets. And that is tiny and very light. Okay, so that's definitely its own benefit there. All right, this actually has a lot going for it from what I can see. I see a stand right away. All right. I see AC outlet, plug it into the wall. A button to turn the screen on, says 65%. And then, I don't know. I have no idea. We have a USB-C port there. All right, I'm cheating. Oh, so does it just slide? Haha, okay. It just slides. And there we have that little port there to charge your phone that's built into it. And then while your phone's charging, you just have this out. That's pretty freaking cool. There's the specifications for that if you want to pause that and read it. And then a little bit more instructions there. Okay, so right away, I'll just plug in this guy. Oh, okay, so you tuck the cable back up in there and then slide it back. And I missed that. There is some information here on the bottom of it. There you go. I'll let you pause that and read it. Check that out. All right, plug that in. And now it's charging up the internal battery that's in here. Looks like it's going at 6.8 watts. All right, taking a look at the little guy here. It shows 65%, and the 5 is flashing. And we can see that we're charging at 6.8 watts, so that's our indicator that it's charging. Now this guy, so it's 0 watts. It knows nothing's plugged in. Plug this in. It shows 0.2. How do we activate the charging for this guy? Okay, so after reconnecting it, I see that there's a little green light and this is flashing. And yeah, now we're drawing 13.4 watts from the wall. And the battery in here is currently getting a charge. And as you can see, we are currently at 20 seconds and we're drawing 13.6 watts. And this is at 2.5 minutes and it's at 6.7 watts. But this one was at 65% and this one was at 0. So What we're going to do is stop recording and come back when this has more of a charge to it. All right, so it has been several hours. I fully charged this guy to 100%, and I learned that that takes a little while. So, of course, now my video is actually done, and I'm throwing this in very last second. But as you can see, when we plug it into the wall right here, we get 33 watts from the wall going into this. So this seems to be the fastest way to charge the battery that is in here by using this method. I also learned that it gets pretty warm to the touch. I didn't measure the heat, but I don't feel that it was anything near how hot this thing got. When draining this thing at 18 watts, I was using my Steam Deck and keeping this thing plugged into my Steam Deck from 100% to 0%. And I only gained like 6 or 7% of my Steam Deck because I was actively playing it while I was powering it with this thing. This thing got to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. This thing was very hot. And then it took a really long time to charge. This guy took a little while to charge. And when it was done charging, like when it said 100%, it still had a wattage draw for a little while, which is unfortunately typical. If I see 100%, I want to be comfortable unplugging it and knowing that it's done. I don't want to see 100% and go, okay, I need to wait another hour before I unplug it from the wall, just to make sure that it's 100%, like it's full completely. So that's something that I've noticed. I was definitely expecting a faster charge, considering this is a 45 watt GAN charger. So I'm going to go ahead and reset this thing and plug in this. Oh my word. Okay. So I did not realize that. I was just literally thinking maybe that comes out. And it does come out. It is recessed in there. There's a USB-C port there. So you can use another cable. It might have to be pretty thick. Yeah. See, like even this Anker cable, it can't quite fit in there. This Apple Watch charger is too big. This thin cable through oh yeah, okay. So that's not gonna fit in there either. You'll have to get a cable that has very little coating around the edge, or just use the one that it comes with. That's an option too. I want to test some things. So I've got my Steam Deck running right now. It is playing a very demanding game, so I expect the battery to be depleting very fast. We're gonna plug in this cable and then plug in the Steam Deck. And just like advertised, we've got 47 watts coming from the wall, and my Steam Deck is showing about 40 to 43 watts on this little reader. If we want to get super accurate, we'll use this PowerZ tester. All right, so we're using a high quality cable here, and we've got 47 watts going out from the wall, and the Steam Deck is currently receiving about 42 to 43 watts from the wall here. So it is charging at its full speed currently. Now we can use the power bank's 30 watt charger and connect the cable that it comes with into the Steam Deck. All right, and as you can see, we are currently drawing 30 watts from this power bank. So it's in its portable, 10,000 milliamp mode where the power is not infinite, and it's currently charging our Steam Deck. And our Steam Deck's only going at 30 watts, which is the most this thing can do. Now the Steam Deck can charge at 45 watts. What this means is you're going to be able to provide a significant amount of extra playtime to your Steam Deck using this battery. Now you will drain your 10,000 milliamp hours very fast at 30 watts output. I am not recommending you get this to charge up something like the ROG Ally or the Steam Deck, because those things draw significantly more than 30 watts. The ROG Ally X can draw 100 watts. But in a pinch, what this can do is provide a significant amount of extra runtime to those devices, especially the Steam Deck, because that's a 15 watt difference between what it can charge at its full speed versus what it's currently charging at. And now with this guy, we're going to use the cable And obviously with this configuration, you drain this thing very quickly. It's only 5,000 milliamp hours. So it's quite small, and 18, almost 19 watts. I mean, that'll top up your Steam Deck a little bit. It'll add, some extra runtime. What happens when you plug it into the wall? So when you plug it into the wall, okay, so that's very unfortunate. This thing does not do very well with pass-through. So right now we're only drawing 7 watts from the wall, which is about what it charges at full speed anyway. That's not very much at all. So 7 watts, as you saw in the time lapse, it takes a while to charge this battery. And when you have it in this mode where it's connected to the wall and this is charging this, it's just, yeah, it doesn't pass it through. What it should do is prioritize keeping this thing going, and then when this thing does stop charging, then it charges the internal battery. But it's focusing on charging that internal battery, and so you're not, no. This is definitely meant to just plug into the wall, charge the battery in here, and then take this with you and charge up your phone. And then remember, you've got that cable built in, so you can take your phone and plug your phone in, and now your phone's currently charging, and it's in a little thing. And remember, you got the little kickstand, so you can pop that out and set your phone down and have your phone charging. So that's pretty cool, pretty useful. And then stow it away. Now the real question is, what about this power bank? So we're gonna plug this power bank back in. We know that this power bank charges our Steam Deck at 30 watts. What happens when you connect it to the wall? Hopefully, it puts out 45 watts to our Steam Deck. Hopefully. If it does not, then that begs the question that this really isn't great for pass-through. Okay, I find that super interesting. I have not seen this before. From the wall, we're only drawing 17 watts. Like, that's not a whole lot. So what that's telling me is it's giving 17 watts to the battery in here, and then the battery in here is putting out 30 watts to our Steam Deck. I have not seen that before. Most of the time, if it can do it, of course, it's going to supply the full 30 or 45 watts to the device that you have plugged in, and when that device starts to draw a small load indicating that it's currently almost charged, then it focuses on charging the battery that's inside here. This is the first time I've seen this. So this is an example of what I'm talking about. This is a expensive product, and this does, I can't even remember now. It's been a minute since I've used it. So let me show you what this does. Yeah, after unplugging everything, we're charging at 13.7 watts from the wall. Yeah, so this battery is currently putting 45 watts into the Steam Deck in battery mode, which is more than 30. And when I plug it into the wall, it should go to 45 watts or close to that. There you go. So now it is charging the Steam Deck at 45 watts. And look at that. It's using the extra power to recharge the battery in here. And the battery in here shows 1 hour, 21 minutes until the battery in here is topped off. Now a cheaper unit, such as this Anker Nano 30 watt. So if we plug this in, yep. Okay, so we saw 30 watts. We see 30 watts going into the Steam Deck right now. That's great. That's what the other one does. Now, I'm going to show you the difference when we plug it into the wall here. So I plug it into the wall, and we're going to see 30 watts going to the device here. And that's exactly what we see. That's what we want to see. It is currently using the grid to power the Steam Deck. And then when it slows down, it's going to charge the battery in here. Right now, it's not charging the battery in here. The battery in here is actually kind of low at 33%. But then when that load gets small, then it's going to switch over, and now the little light's flashing. It's indicating that it's charging, and it's going to charge at 30 watts for that internal battery. So that's going to charge faster than the other one. So if you're wanting to use this in AC mode, where it's connected directly to the grid, then you're going to want to disconnect it and use it this way, because then it will allow for the full power to go through, and it won't be trying to charge the battery in here. And then you can use the battery in here to charge something else. I gotta test the protocols too, but I want to see. So it connects to my phone. It's got a nice strong grip on my phone. My phone is fully charged. There we go. We got the MagSafe. That's good. That's really good. That means it's a good wireless charging. All right, so what I'm going to do now is test the protocols that this thing has. Okay, so that's a pretty good sign. It's got a lot of the protocols that you want to see, such as quick charge. You got FCP, SCP, AFC, and then most importantly, you've got the power delivery, which shows 5 volts to 11 volts at 3 amps. So that'll get you super fast charging on your Samsung phones there. Now what we're going to do is only take the cable out of here, put it into the, well, actually I can't because this is going to be too big to fit in there. So I'm going to be forced to use the cable right here to do my tests. All right, we'll run those tests again and see what happens. All right, yeah, not a whole lot of protocols there, but we do know that it can do 30 watts. Let's run that test again. Okay, so that's much better. I'm not quite sure what happened. I went ahead and let the tester power down all the way and reconnected it. So this is definitely a much better sign. This is still running off of the battery in there. So we've got Quick Charge 3 Plus. Well, I'm a noob and I pressed the wrong button and I'm restarting the test. Alrighty then, so we've got Quick Charge 3. There you go, there's that. We've got FCP, SCP, AFC, SFCP, and then PD3. So there you go. We've got 5 to 11 volts at 3 amps or 5 to 16 volts at 2 amps and 20 volts, 1.5, 15. Yeah, so that's good. This is good information. Just for fun, literally just for fun, we're going to run the protocols on the little guy here. Oh, was not expecting that at all. Okay, so far so good. We've got the Quick Charge 3. There's that. We have FCP, SCP, AFC, SFCP, and PD3 20 watts. And we do a PPS 5 volts to 11 volts at 2 amps and 5 volts to 5.9. I haven't seen that. That's interesting. At 3 amps. So 12 volts, 9 volts, and 5 volts. I really can't tell you who this is for. I cannot because it's just interesting. It's niche. It's unique. Plug in our Samsung. We don't even see fast charging. We just see regular charging. What if I use my own USB cable that is powerful? All right, that's a much better look. Much better look. All right, so we'll go ahead and plug it in with the better cable. And we do get fast charging. That is a much better look. So if you use your own cable, you're going to get a better result than the one that is built into it. I'd say that's more of a backup, or you don't really care how fast your phone charges. So that's charging my Samsung at a pretty good speed. Well, literally its maximum speed. The biggest downside is once we plug it into the wall, everything goes downhill. Everything just absolutely goes downhill. Yeah, that's not great. This thing is absolutely awful at pass-through charging. I would honestly only ever just plug this in by itself to the wall to charge the battery in here and then use this as a power bank. Let's plug in our Samsung to this guy real quick and then we'll end this video because this is quite a long video. So we got super fast charging on our Samsung, which is fantastic. I'll let you see that again. I don't remember if that was 1.0 or 2.0. So that's just 1.0. That's not 2.0, which is known because 2.0 is 45 watts, 1.0 is up to 25 watts. And as you can see, we're currently charging at up to 25 watts. And our battery is almost full, so that's why it's not going to charge super fast anyway. All right, so this thing's pretty freaking cool. It's not amazing. I mean, you can charge your phone, prop your phone up, pull this out, prop your phone up. Not a great kickstand. Really, it's only just the complete angle there. If you do this, it's going to fall over. If you do this one's kind of, I don't know who this is for. It's cool. I've shown you the video. I've shown you the specs and the stats. In power bank mode, it's pretty good. As a wall charger, you have to disconnect it to get good results out. If you keep it connected, it's going to try to charge the battery in here while this is charging. It's not great for pass-through. It's a Swiss Army knife. I mean, I can put my AirPods on there. I can put my watch on there. I can put my phone on there. I can use this cable to charge up my older iPhone or my newer iPhone when I upgrade, because it's got both cables. It's an all-in-one. It's pretty awesome. If I'm being honest with you, I'm having a really hard time figuring out exactly who this is for. I do appreciate them sending it out to me. They're not reviewing this video. They're not paying me to make this video. They're not seeing this video before it's posted. I'm not so excited. I had high hopes for it. I showed you how other things handle being plugged into the wall. I don't know. I'm going to have a link to this in the description below if you want to purchase one of these for yourself. This is just my tests. This is something that was sent to me early. They could make it better in the future. I'll always be willing to check it out later in the future to see if it gets better. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. This is What Would Josh Do, and I'm out.